Buenas tardes to ustedes. I am very excited to be part of this MOOC and to share my knowledge of technology with you today. It's because of this free technology that teachers like me can collaborate and help lead college discussions on intellectual property from the other side of the world. I have been asked to introduce some key technology issues in today's business mindset, and I'm here to tell you that whatever you think the future is of business, it's already happening right now. We live in an interconnected world where ownership is no longer exclusive. Just check this one, Facebook. Everything that you share on Facebook, do you ask permission in advance? No, we just share. Storify. You can make your own news stories. You can just copy and paste from any place on the web. Do you ask permission? No, you just take it and you share. Pinterest. Do you take those pictures and ask, oh, can I use your picture? No. Lots, millions of pictures are being shared on the web. Nobody's asking any permission. So the question is, like, what's happening to copyright today? Google Plus is another one. Google Plus, every morning I get up and I share everything exciting that I find on Google Plus. It's a great platform. I love it. But do I ask anyone's permission? No. So ownership has radically different meaning in today's world. Twitter, everybody has all the tweets. They're not copyrighted. They're open for the open world. It's a different world than it was 25 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or even a few years ago. So in a connected world, everything is remixed and reshared. And it's everything, whether they ask permission or not, it's all being remixed and reshared. So the future today is open, and the future is actually now. So creators don't monetize ownership as much as they monetize audience. It's more about attraction than it is about protection. Everyone wants to know, so how many hits did you get on your YouTube video? How many hits did you get on your website? Everybody wants to know about the audience more than they are concerned about the protection. People now pay for access to all the things that they would like to see. So access for books, you can rent a book, you can rent a movie, you can rent YouTube, no, actually not on YouTube, you can rent Netflix movies, you can rent Amazon movies, and I'm sure there's many other sites where you can rent things. Instead of owning, you rent, and the same thing with books. To attract the most people, creators need to make their work really easy to share. And one way to do that is Creative Commons licenses. Creative Commons, a simple, standardized way to grant permission. It's easy to use, standardized licenses, public domain tools that allow creators to publish their work on flexible terms, on more flexible terms than the standard copyright. So standard copyright is inflexible. Some rights reserved. That means that you have some rights reserved on Creative Commons, but not all the rights. So if you have all the rights reserved, nothing can move. They can't share. So here are the different license options. Choose the conditions. Attribution, share alike, non-commercial, no derivatives. You go to the Creative Commons website, select the condition most appropriate for you. And then you receive a license. Really easy to get a license. Just click, fill out the information, download, license is there. It can be in the public domain, 2 different options for public domain. And here is a chart showing what is most free from what is least free. So you can see the public domain is the most free, and the more restrictions you put on your license, the less free it will be, and the less it will travel around the web, because people will be afraid to use it if it has so many restrictions on it. Here's 3 different layers that go with the Creative Commons licenses. They're machine readable, human readable, and legal code as well. So the legal code protects you from all the legal problems that you might encounter. It's kind of like asking permission in advance to use something, only you don't have to write a lot of letters or give a lot of permissions. So Creative Commons facilitates a new way to do business. There are multiple ways, but this is one I want to highlight, freemium. So freemium means companies that use a Creative Commons licensed work with a payment model for extra services. So the first part of it is free. So Spotify, for example. All the work in Spotify, Creative Commons licensed, and you can get it for free. Don't have to pay anything, but you have to listen to those ads. So if you don't like listening to ads, so one thing you can do is pay $5 a month. That's the premium service. And then you don't have to listen to the ads. But this is one of the ways that you do it. LinkedIn also has a freemium model. You can use it, but then if you want to use additional services, you can pay for it. Flat World Knowledge is free and open textbooks. You can take any of the textbooks that they have on there, download them to your computer for free. But if you want a print copy for it, you have to pay for it. And this just gives you an idea of, hopefully, ways to do business. So MOOCs, that's what we're using right now for this course that we're doing at the moment. Massive open online courses. It's a new era in education. So Course Builder, it's an open source license software licensed with Apache 2.0, Course Builder from Google. And the purpose of this is to allow anybody to have a MOOC, anybody. But if you want to do it, you basically need to have, right now, it's a little technical. So you basically need to have a friend, sort of like a geek friend, somebody who really likes to play with technology and they can help you out. They're building additional tools, so it'll be more friendly to everybody, to the whole world, within the next few months, but right now it's just a little geeky. So here's the first big MOOC that came from the Google Course Builder. It was a great MOOC. Power Searching with Google. And so they ran one course. This was with Dan Russell. And they had great response. I think it was about 155,000 people signed up, and they had a retention rate of about 15%. And then they ran the course again and made a few changes. And this time they had even more people. So I think they've had a total now of about 257,000 people that signed up. You can take the exams as many times as you want, and then you get a certificate from Google that says you completed the course. So this time they had a retention rate of about 36%, which was pretty exciting. So you can also use Hangouts on Air for keynotes, for presentations, for office hours. There's a variety of different ways. You can also use it with YouTube. There's a lot of different options. I would just suggest you go and check it out. They have a lot of help online. Udacity is one of the new companies out there. They have free MOOCs using CC licenses, and this is what they're going to be doing to earn some money. They're going to be selling supporting services again. It's like the freemium model. So Coursera has a slightly different model here, and one thing is important to know. All the courses are free, but they are not open. That means they are not Creative Commons licensed. You cannot take them and share them and remix them, but you can take them online. And they don't know yet. The revenue model's undecided. The possible ideas are maybe job placement, exams, degrees, but right now, anybody can take a course. CourseSmart, largest provider of digital course materials. What they do is they sell digital access to other publishers' textbooks. So people have textbooks, they want them to have digital access. This group helps them do that. Here's author Cory Doctorow. He releases all his work with a Creative Commons license. Sorry, I'm going to have some water. And so what's interesting about Cory Doctorow is that you can download any one of his books, but he's made a lot of money because people buy the books. Here it is on Amazon. And so here's an important finding, and that is it seems as if you release your content online for free it drives your hard copy sales. And that's just an experiential thing, and why no one seems to understand it, but it seems to work really well. Bloomsbury Academic, it's the leading European independent publisher, and they release all their academic work, research-based publications online with Creative Commons licenses. So if you're interested in music, here we have music website, 600,000 users from 200 countries. So they use CC licenses to promote creativity in music. They have the premium level available, so it's a freemium model as well. Now here's another one that's interesting. Animated feature film. It's a feature film. It has a CC BY license, share alike, reaches the widest audience possible, brought in $55,000 in donations in the first 9 months. This is another movie, another idea that was released simultaneously in theaters and on the web. And you were able to change the ending if you wanted to change the ending, and then upload that, and then they shared those different endings on the movie. So this is another way. Apparently was very successful. Lots of people went to see what the different endings were. Here's a Spanish film, the first Spanish language film with a CC license. And the idea was to create social awareness of the world's current financial and social situation. This is a CC licensed film, which was very inspirational. Here's another movie, crowdsourced. And I don't know if it's come out or not, Cosmonaut. But again, this was a crowdsourced CC licensed film. It gets the community working together, and it's a pretty exciting new model. Flickr, owned by Yahoo, has an advertising revenue model, so they sell ads along the side. Bookshare, this is a foundation model. This is for disabled people worldwide to enable them to also enjoy the web. Bookshare. Now, come for OER, Open Educational Resources. This is supported by Hewlett Foundation. Millions, there are millions of resources worldwide. Here's one of them. They have tons of resources. This project is another one. We have OER Commons. So these are all foundation models or government models. And so how do you find a lot of this material? So Google has a custom search engine. There's the address for it that you can go and find material easily. And it includes most of the OER material worldwide. This is another finding educational resources. So if you wanted to do something in OER, you could use any of the business models I mentioned earlier, foundation model, freemium model. Some people are using freemium models in order to then first present the OER, and then if you want additional services to help teachers in schools, they sell those services that go along with the OER. But the OER, Open Educational Resources, is available to anybody. Download, remix, share. So Vimeo just added CC, browse, search capabilities just in February of this year. And if you want to take a course, you can go to P2P University, means peer-to-peer university. Course, this is the open, how to learn more about how to function in the open world. 72 countries have affiliate teams, Creative Commons affiliate teams. Spain, all the Spanish-speaking countries are pretty much listed here. I think almost all of them. So this presentation is, of course, Creative Commons licensed with attribution only, so you can feel free to take it, share it. You can delete any part of it that you like or don't like, that you don't like. You can add to it whatever you want, and thank you very much for your attention. And if you have questions, please email me. There's my address, esther@creativecommons.org. And best of luck with your new ideas and exciting adventures.
Thank you very much, Esther. It was a pleasure to hear your speech, okay, and look your slides. And the first thing is that all the information about your slides is available in a file that we share with all the pupils of Unimuk. Okay. And now, Andres, if you want, it's possible to make small questions, Esther. If you,
I'm available.
If you don't mind.
Yes, that's fine.
If you don't mind, probably we have here Pedro, Tiscar, and Fran, because I think that probably Barbara has to leave us. And okay, I think that is your presentation was very interesting, and probably we have very interesting questions. Tiscar, Pedro.
Muchas gracias. Quizá empiezo yo haciendo un resumen, tal como has dicho. Lo voy a hacer en castellano, haciendo alguna referencia en inglés. Pero primero, felicitar a Esther por una magnífica, sintética primera aportación a este Unimop. Yo creo que ha resaltado cuestiones muy importantes para los nuevos emprendedores. Algo tan importante en la red como que es imposible apropiarse del contenido, que quizá la propiedad en Internet ya no es exclusiva, no tiene el sentido tradicional, y tal ha puesto los ejemplos de las redes sociales, desde las más convencionales a las más novedosas, ¿no? En un mundo conectado todo se comparte. Y en ese sentido yo creo que es importante cuando he dicho so creators need to make the work easy to share. Creadores de contenido necesitan hacer que sea más fácil compartir. Y ahí es donde surge una idea tan acertada y tan visionaria, tan hecha a la medida de Internet, a las necesidades de Internet, como es el Creative Commons. Yo creo que ahí hay una oportunidad para que los emprendedores entiendan que puedan, tal como ha dicho ella, elegir sus condiciones para compartir. La elección es de cada creador, de cada emprendedor, dentro de un cúmulo de 6 posibilidades que nos ha presentado Esther, de 6 posibilidades de licencias vía Creative Commons. Desde más abierta hasta gradualmente más restrictiva, más cerrada, intentando preservar algunos privilegios lógicos de la propiedad. Esto significa, en el mundo de los emprendedores, desde mi punto de vista, como ha dicho ella, a new way to do business, un nuevo modelo de negocios para contenidos, distintos modelos con, sin publicidad, acceso con o sin impresión, es decir, un conjunto de posibilidades que se adapten a la lógica de lo que implica estas nuevas herramientas de Internet. En este sentido, pues sin duda habría que utilizar el propio MOB, las propias herramientas para educación, la referencia que ha hecho a CourseBuilder como una nueva base tecnológica para los MOB, el Hangout, y todo lo que ha supuesto desde Udacity hasta ahora este movimiento en la educación, como ejemplos de contenidos abiertos, como ejemplos, como una filosofía que da pie a nuevas herramientas de tipo colaborativo, herramientas de una potencialidad revolucionaria en el mundo de la educación. Yo creo que, bueno, por mi parte no debo extenderme más. Yo creo que hay que darle las gracias a Esther por esta exposición impresionante de las distintas posibilidades abiertas para compartir contenidos, algo que tienen que tener los emprendedores de hoy muy presentes según los distintos objetivos y según los distintos fines económicos. Gracias, Esther. Thank you very much, Esther, for such an impressive presentation of the very different options to share content accordingly to different things, economic objectives enabled by Creative Commons. Y ahora pues a empezar preguntas. Esto ha sido solamente una introducción. Ánimo.
Tiscar or Pedro? Or
I have a question. Okay, even a couple of them, but I will say the first one and later the second one when other people intervene, okay? Well, first of all, thank you so much for your inspirational talk. It was fantastic, Esther.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things that impressed me a lot was your reference around platforms as MOOCs. And you said that this platform opened a new era in education, okay?
Yes.
So what would you say to the key stakeholders as politicians and or public servants to convince them about the role that new technologies can carry out in this new era? How can you convince them that technology is so important for education?
Well, it's a very good question. I think that politicians need to just look around the world and they have to see the importance of technology. So just today, it was announced that more than 1 billion people on Earth have a smartphone. So if you want to reach those people, the idea is to be able to create content that is meaningful. And you can do that using MOOCs. You can do that easily. You can do training videos. People can learn in the afternoon, in the evening, learn on their own time, learn on their smartphone. And so we need to train teachers and students in schools how to use these devices, and also not just how to use them, but how to create content for them, because they are smart. Those young kids are really smart, they're creative, and if they can also share their ideas with the world, it's a very important step in helping everybody solve the problems that we all face on this planet. Nobody knows where the big solutions are going to come, for example, for global warming, but it could be from somebody, you know, the least likely person that you might expect. But we need to give them these tools and opportunities to share their ideas. So I would suggest that governments spend effort to train teachers so that they can use these tools in the classroom and have their students use these tools in the classroom as well. So years ago, many years ago actually, when farming was the most important thing people were doing, they trained students how to farm. Okay, so they did that in the schools. So we don't need to do that in the schools anymore today. So how about training them to use the technology tools that are everywhere? Hope that answers some of your questions.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I have another one, but okay, so sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm hearing someone else here. Okay. Well, I found very interesting your talk about the different models of how to use open content to make business or just to make some nice projects in education. But I would like to go back to the concept, to the MOOC concept.
Okay.
Because when you went through Coursera,
Yes.
you say, well, but this is not open, even though we recognize that this is a kind of MOOC. So how do you feel with the use of the words? Now everything looks like open, because open is like a nice way of being, but then I think it's a little bit tricky to use the word when, if you go deep inside, maybe you can find that this is not so open like Coursera. So maybe we have to be more critical with these kind of models that are not so open in their meaning, in their way of being.
You know, that's a very interesting point. And it's something I think we all need to think about, because all the other MOOCs that are out there are open. And so Coursera might need to be called something else, because the original MOOC was done by Sebastian Thrun and Peter Norvig at Stanford. It was IA was AI, artificial intelligence, and it was open and licensed in an open way. But so I think what's happened with Coursera is they're trying to monetize these, and so this is the way they've come up. Like I said, their revenue model is not, they don't know exactly what they're doing yet. There's a lot of possibilities, but you know, and one of them, like I mentioned, is to give degrees. So all these universities have signed on to be part of Coursera, but like I said, it's still open. There's not a single dollar that has transferred from one group to another in Coursera. So professors haven't been paid yet. There's nothing that's taken place. So maybe there should be another term. It's a good idea. So Course Builder is an open platform that enables you to mix and reshare. And so that's one of the things that's great. It is a MOOC open platform. And people should use that, and they will be using that in order to be open. You know, you can create a MOOC, and you can still have these supporting services along the side of it. So you can make revenue, you have a revenue model still. You don't have to lock the course up in copyright in order to do that. So I think that's an important fact for everybody to know, because as a teacher I can tell you that students don't learn in isolation. So if they all sit around a computer individually, they don't learn. The time that they learn is when they get together in groups and talk about what it is that they saw on the computer or whatever. So you can actually have a revenue model that would be based on that. People have their own courses that they take at night or whatever, but then you could have groups of people that come together, and you could have people that help facilitate discussions or help prepare you or explain things better. So even the Khan Academy model, they are creating communities connected with Khan Academy because they realize that the Khan Academy tapes alone don't do the trick. So, that's a long-winded answer to your short question, but hopefully that explains it. And I do agree with you; they should not be called MOOCs.
Right.
Okay, Esther. From Twitter, because now we are live, and then some users are making questions by Twitter. One of the tweet questions from Juanjo, more or less because it's in Spanish, but I try to translate, is, and probably you answered before, no? But the idea is that all is open, and the concept of open is very interesting, but all things that is open has to be free, or is possible to find revenues, to find or monetize this kind of open contents?
Well, of course, it's possible to monetize the open content. As a matter of fact, it's a huge resource for the whole world, and people put it up there, and as long as it doesn't have a non-commercial license on it, then you can use it anywhere for anything. You can just take it and use it, especially if it's in the public domain, but just attribution only. You can take it and use it, because I mean the idea really is to help everybody in the world improve in some way or other. And if it just sits there in some, I don't know, like a book that just sits in a library, it does nobody any good to just sit there in a library on a dusty shelf. it's only useful if it's shared with people who can use it and get some ideas from it. So there's a lot of things on the web that are free. I just want to make it clear. They're free, but they are not open. So just because they let you have access doesn't mean they're open and you can use them. So that's why it's important to note if they have a Creative Commons license on it, then you can use it. But there are, in Creative Commons alone, there's about 500 million objects with a Creative Commons license on it. I mean, in my lifetime, I couldn't, or anybody's lifetime, you couldn't even check each one. You see, there's just so much out there. So it's a resource for all of us, and especially for the young people in Spain. There's a lot of unemployment. It would be great if they could take some of this open stuff and then create some kind of a way to make it useful for other people, and they can monetize that. Otherwise, just sitting there, you know. And like I said, the young people, they're the most creative, the most inspirational, and I don't care how crazy their ideas are. Those ideas are what change the world. So they should try it.
Okay, thank you very much in the name of Juanjo, and I personally, I totally agree with you. Fran, I think that you have, or Pedro, you have any questions?
Yes.
Also, Pedro?
Hi, Esther.
Hi, Pedro.
Well, for an entrepreneur, it could be a good idea to pack some content, some rich content, using video, music, and so on. Video content who is specific for internet, and to pack all the content they can found or they can create, and to use internet to sell the content for other people. I think this is what is happening now for some learning industries, like language learning industry now. But now we are proposing them to another ways make a business model to monetize the work they are doing.
Yes.
To take more advantage from the fact that they are using a new way. But it seems that all the testimonies you have show us are exceptions at this moment from the general rule. I think probably with you that the future will be open, but is the future near or it is far from us at this moment?
You know, I think the future is here. It's because it's happening right now. All these things, as I sit here today, right this minute, I am sure there are thousands, if not millions, of people that are exchanging ideas and exchanging text, video, audio, pictures. It's all happening right now. And so, I mean, we need, as a matter of fact, the laws have not kept up with the change. That's one of the problems. We have, you know, the laws take forever. As we know, our politicians take a long time to think about all these things and a long time to make changes. And so they're way behind, but the future is happening right now, which is why it's so important to be able to share and to be able to remix all these things that are out there. Because if we don't, it's just, they're lost. It's like a heritage that belongs to all the people on earth. And so let's take advantage of it. You know, I as a teacher, I teach, you know, 14 to 18-year-olds every day. And I keep thinking I know what's going on, but I can tell you that every day I come in and I see more things happening than I would ever expect. And that's if you give students an opportunity to respond and to interact with you as opposed to just lecture. You know, I don't just lecture. I actually like to listen to what my students have to say. But I think that's why people just listen and watch. They will see the future is happening right in front of their eyes right now.
Thank you, because now you have proposed a new slogan for our Unimoc. The future is right now.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for free.
And for free. And for free. That's right. Yes, we have another question.
Yeah. Next question, Pablo?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this book is about entrepreneurship, and you talk a lot about intellectual property. And I am convinced that intellectual property and innovation are linked.
Yes.
So how do you think that tight regulation about copyright and about intellectual property can harm innovation? And beyond that, how it can influence the decision of investment coming from business capital firms or business angels in startups? Because as you know, in earlier stage, startups need this investment. And if you have a tight regulation, I think it's difficult for them. Thank you.
So just to understand your question, so how copyright aids business?
How a tight regulation about copyright can affect innovation?
Well, so copyright, initially the laws for copyright were to promote innovation. So the idea was to give control to that person who created this object or video or music so that they could earn a living. And that makes sense because, you know, I actually am an author as well, and so you can't live on air. And so you have to be able to get revenue from whatever it is that you've created. So that's why I'm saying that you do not need to give everything into the open space. And the most amazing part is that if you share it online and allow people to download, it is very surprising that you help your print or your hard copy sales. So for example, 9 Inch Nails, I don't know if you know about this, it's a music group. So they licensed one of their songs with a Creative Commons license and free to download. And what it did, they earned more money because of doing that on their album sales than they had earned before. So the question was like, why? And again, the answer is because I think it's kind of like a loss leader in a way. People get a taste of it and then they want more. So I think that it works together. Copyright, you still need copyright protection in many cases. So I'm not trying to say that it's not important. I'm just saying that it's a new way to think about the use of copyright together with the use of open. Because like for example, on the music industry, the Radio Association of America, I think it's RIAA, they have instituted thousands of lawsuits against individuals. And so you have to ask the question, how effective have their lawsuits been? I mean, they haven't worked. As a matter of fact, they stopped suing because it didn't work. But so the idea is that the copyright, the laws were written for another era, and so we still have to allow it, or not only allow it, but still promote copyright. But then there has to be an option for people to also have the open license and the sharing. So I guess for those companies that are investing with like you say, the early stage, they should see that copyright slows innovation by sort of miring it in legal action, and that's a real problem. So then, you know, your company doesn't do so well. Copyleft is a new term that promotes innovation. I don't know if you've heard of copyleft, but it's copyright. It sort of locks it up, and copyleft opens it up. So maybe there could be a little bit of a combination between the two. You can have some copyright, but then don't get all hung up in all this legal stuff, because who profits? Well, the lawyers, right? And everybody else loses. Hope, does that answer your question, or did you want to add
Yes,
more?
of course. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay,
To make sure.
I think that we take more time than we schedule, but I think that is very interesting. Okay, and then we have another 2 questions by Twitter. One question you answered last minute, because you talked about the Creative Commons in the world of music. Okay.
Yes.
And one question was how affect to the music world this new Creative Commons model, no? And you answered.
Okay.
But the other question is from Miriam Blanes in Twitter, that has a question about if the education is unremediable going to totally open, totally free and online model. Is this or really this is an illusion?
Oh, I don't think it's an illusion. I think education is going to a totally free online model. But as I mentioned before, it's very difficult for most people to be educated. That's not me. For most people, it's very difficult for most people to be educated in isolation. And so while it's going to an online model, there are still going to be schools and still places for people to meet together and still places for people to discuss this. So I use a lot of technology in my classes, but then my students come together and they talk about it, and I talk about it with them. It's very difficult to just do it by yourself. And so that's why I think that there will be a model that is still a way to earn revenue that involves facilitating what you learn online. And sometimes it will be foundation supported by foundations who want to help support education, and other times it will be your public schools will support it. But I can just tell you it's much more effective for students to be able to get information online and then come to class and talk about it than it is for them to sit there and listen to me lecture for 50 minutes. No one wants to listen to anyone lecture for 50 minutes, no matter how entertaining they are. And so the interaction you learn by doing and by speaking and by being involved. And that's where we're headed. I mean, even if you wanted to get together with your friends and talk about it without even having to pay for anything, that works too. But I would say it'll be institutionalized some way. Okay? Hope that answers another question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Esther. Andres, I think that you can give your last explanation, your last speech, and say goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Esther.
Well, thank you very much. It was very exciting for me too to be part of this. It's really the new frontier. Good luck.
Thank you so much. It's so kind of you to stay with us and to share this very, very attractive and important knowledge for us and for the rest of the students that are following. Will follow this MOOC. No? It's a pleasure. It's a great time for us this afternoon with you, this morning in US time. So thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Esther. We'll see you on the 29th.
Okay, on the 29th. See you later. See you on the 29th. We'll arrange it at Google in Amsterdam.
Okay, goodbye for everybody, and now finish next time, very soon on 29th of October, we have the initial event
Okay.
really in presential, and now we you Esther participate with this speech, and also probably from Amsterdam with Google Hangout also.
Okay,
with
that sounds great.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much, and goodbye, good night, good evening, and good morning for everybody.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye, goodbye.